return for their favourite food and treat rewards. And today, they consist of pieces of raw meat and full cream milk. Now, Cub College is also a learning environment for us, the handlers. We need to consistently send our tigers clear messages to ensure their success. If we get it wrong, which we sometimes do, all you can expect to see from these tigers is to lose interest or maybe even wander off. Now, who's training who out here on the island is sometimes very hard to tell. Now, let's start off with a few introductions. Now, joining me are three of my colleagues. In the middle here we have Simon, on the right-hand side we have Scott, and on the left-hand side Adam. And today, they're going to be working out 3 stars of our presentation. In the middle, we have one of our younger tigers, and his name is Baru. Now, Baru over here is 2 years of age and weighs 155 kilos already. Now, he's probably one of the laziest tigers we've ever had here at Tiger Island, so expect to see Simon working very hard to keep Baru interested in our presentation. Now, on my left-hand side with Adam, we have Baru's brother Ravi, born in the same litter, so of course 2 years of age as well, and also 150 kilos. Now, Ravi, quite the opposite to his brother Baru, very energetic, very food motivated, so expect to see a lot of activity from Ravi throughout the presentation. And finally, on our right-hand side over there with Scott, we have a slightly older member of our younger cat team, and his name is Five. Five's a 4-year-old. He wasn't born here at Dreamworld, but he was born at another zoo and travelled here when he was quite young. Now, Paul will be leading by example throughout the presentation. He already knows the show, he's very good at it. So, with the high, failure rate for these younger tigers, Five's going to be the one that we fall back on if these younger tigers aren't doing the best. So, in saying that, now that we've met all the stars of the presentation, let's start the show with a nice big round of applause to welcome them along. Come on, guys. That's the way. Let's hear it for the cats. And if one throughout the presentation too, if you do support the cats, make a lot of noise, clapping, cheering, shouting, you're going to see a lot of activity from the cats throughout the presentation as well. Now, the first group of behaviours that we'd like to demonstrate all involve full cream milk as the reward. This first one is a very simple one to start things off, and it's what we like to call a sit-up. Looks like Baru, straight into it. Ravi, next one up. Let's give them a big round of applause. Great work from our younger tigers. And Five's up there as well. All 3 cats in this position. Now, apart from just looking very cute, this is also a very natural behaviour. From this position, a tiger gains a distinct height advantage. It enables them to spot their prey at long distances while remaining undetected while they cover tall grass. You didn't know tigers are solitary and territorial animals, so in order for them to communicate with other tigers, they leave scent markings all throughout their territory. Sitting up as the tigers are demonstrating, they might be able to access scent markings that would ordinarily be out of reach on all fours. It's a very good indication of their size. Sitting up like this, all 3 of the cats are almost as tall as the handlers. Be aware, they are capable of stretching out a little further, and to demonstrate, we'll move them into our next behaviour, which we call a rise. Ravi's going to lead the way. Let's give him a big round of applause. Great work there from Ravi and Adam, I guess. Now, Baru's up next, and Five are going to stretching out against the climbing tree. Now, in the wild, this is behaviour you would typically see a tiger performing against the side of a tree, just like Five's going to do. Maybe in order to access scent markings left by other tigers that might be very high up, but it's also a great way to leave a few scent markings behind. To do so, they'll stretch out against the tree just like Five's doing and the cubs are doing with their handlers, rubbing themselves all over the trunk of the tree and clawing at its bark with their very sharp claws. It also gives you the illusion that to be a tiger handler, you may have to be very strong, supporting 100+ kilo tigers up in this position. Now, that's what we'd like you to think, but the reality is the tigers are doing most of the work, except for Baru, who doesn't do any work. And you'll see that in our next behaviour, which we call a fight stance. Now, this one's a little bit more difficult. You might see some reluctance from them to get straight into it. Let's give Ravi a big round of applause, guys, leading the way once again. Five's going to be the next one up, and Baru's going to give it a go as well, although he's not the greatest at this behaviour. He wants to use his paws to strike out of the carton. So Simon there just managing it, making sure that Baru doesn't actually get hold of it, which would reinforce his bad behaviour. Now, we call this a fight stance because this is a position 2 tigers will adopt when they fight or do battle. The idea is, as you can see there with Ravi, frees up the front paws and allows the tiger to strike out at its opponent. The objective is to knock them to the ground where they can inflict a killing bite using their powerful canine teeth. Let's give Baru a big round of applause, finally getting it done. Then my hand here, guys, is a replica of a tiger's canine tooth, and as you can see, it's very big. It measures 14 centimetres from the root right down to the tip of the tooth. Like I said, it's just a plastic replica. What we'd like to demonstrate, of course, the real deal, with a helpful hand from the guys out here on the island. What you notice, half of the canine tooth is exposed, and the other half is embedded deep into the tiger's skull to provide a nice firm grip. What you probably can't see is that the exposed portion of tooth has a number of grooves that run right down its length. Now the grooves allow air to travel between the tooth and the flesh of the tiger's prey, making it easy for them to readjust their grip. Without grooves in their teeth, it's likely that tigers like these may become a little stuck in whatever they bite because of the vacuum effect they would be creating with those very powerful jaws. But guys, that's it for our milk behaviours. All three of the cats doing a pretty good job. Let's give them another little round of applause. Not a bad start to the show. What we're going to do though is set things up, and to do this it's quite simple. We start introducing pieces of meat as rewards. Now by increasing the tiger's rewards, we in turn increase their motivation, and this allows us to show some more spectacular behaviours. The first of these is a jumping behaviour. We're aware tigers are capable of jumping distances of around about 6 metres. Now the length out here on Tiger Island between our two logs is only 3 metres, and today our best jumper, Maru, is going to make some short work of these jumps. Check him out over here. No, he didn't do it. Yeah, took a shortcut. Simon's going to give you another go, guys. Like we said, not a high success rate with these little tigers. We don't always get it right, but we do give them every opportunity to get it right. Simon's going to have one more go at it. Brew looks a little bit unfocused, but we'll see how we go. Like I said, he's our best jumper, so he should do this very easily. Come on, it looks like he's going. No. Maybe if you take him up the front and have a little chat to him. Yeah. Ravi, what do you think, guys? Can Ravi do a better job than his brother Baru? Yeah. I definitely hope so. Let's see how Ravi, there he goes. Pretty easy stuff for Ravi. Now, Adam's going to bring Ravi back and forward a few times. While he's doing this, check out Ravi's tail. Now, not only will he use it to maintain balance and stability, but also to generate momentum when jumping. To do so, he flicks that big powerful tail directly over his back when he jumps. The added weight thrown forward makes jumps like these a little bit simpler for a 150 kilo tiger like Ravi. One more time across. Big piece of chicken for all that hard work. Let's give Ravi a big round of applause. Like I said, a very, very energetic little cat. What we're going to do now, guys, is move on to a different behaviour. Now, you saw Ravi make his way across our platforms pretty simply, pretty quickly. Now, tigers are pretty fast, capable of running speeds of about 60 kilometres an hour. Now, we've got Baru set up just in front of the island here for a bit of a jog across the island. I'm not going to guarantee he'll run 60 kilometres an hour, but he'll run as fast as Baru does, which is kind of slow. But let's see how he goes. After Simon, trotting along, let's give him a round of applause. That'll help work some of the way off. Alright guys, pretty good stuff from the cats. What we're going to do now is just slow things down a little bit and show you our learnt behaviours. So far you've seen natural behaviours that tigers would use for their survival in the wild. This next one, we've trained our tigers to make our lives a little easier. Now, in the boys' hands are bright green coloured pieces of wood. We call these mark boards. Now when we place the mark boards on the ground, watch what our tigers do. They walk straight over and place both of their front feet on them. Now it's a very simple form of training, and one that the tigers are usually happy to be involved in, particularly Baru. As you can see, it requires no effort in return for some food rewards. Now it proves very useful if we want to perform veterinary or husbandry checks on our tigers. The catch, of course, is that our vet doesn't have the same relationship with the tigers that we obviously do. So by incorporating mark training helps keep them focused elsewhere, and our vet can move in. Now it also proves to be very useful when the tigers are involved in film and television work. Typically in those situations they are exposed to distractions and they never have experienced before in the past. By incorporating mark training helps keep the tigers comfortable and under our control while they are in these very new environments. Now during filming, if we need to move tigers from one point to another and remain out of shot, we can do so by placing 2 or more mark boards on the ground. Now with a slight cue, the tigers will move from point A to B or from mark to mark, just like they're demonstrating at the moment. Now the main reason that we have our tigers involved in film and television work is so that we can generate money for the Dreamworld Wildlife Foundation. If you didn't know, just over 100 years ago there was an estimated 100,000 tigers living throughout the wild. You might be surprised to find that in 100 years we managed to wipe out a staggering 96% of the tigers' wild population. Today, less than 4,000 tigers remain. Now those remaining tigers we're still losing between 1 to 5 each day. mainly due to habitat loss and destruction, but unfortunately also the result of poaching. Now through our program we support a number of organisations that work in the field throughout Asia, not only supplying information that the tiger's body parts are of no medicinal benefit, but of course the need to conserve their natural habitat. Now as you can imagine, it's work we're very proud of, and work that some of you may also like to help us with, and you certainly can. Now if you spin around and have a look at the wall leading up to the Bengal tea house, you notice beside the stairs is a very large sign that says extinction is forever. Now beside the sign is a donation box, and through it we invite you to make a contribution to our program. Doesn't matter how large or small it is, even if it's 5 cents, we can guarantee you that that 5 cents will go directly to tiger conservation. There are no administrative charges deducted from those donations, so it's a really good way to help, and like I said, something that we're very proud of. Now something else we are quite devoted to is showing all of our guests amazing natural tiger behaviours. And folks, with that in mind, who out there would like to see a tiger climb a tree? About 5 people. Excellent. Come on guys, who wants to see a tiger climb a tree? Alright folks, most of the information that we found about tigers and tree climbing tells us that, hello, he's got the mark all the time. He wants to keep doing marks. Most of the information that we've got in regards to tigers and tree climbing tells us they aren't renowned for this behaviour. Now, it's believed by little tigers like Baru are far too big to support their weight using only their claws. Well, today, we're going to show that tigers can climb trees once they've finished off their mark boards, and that they happen to be very good at it as well. So, we'll see how we go today with Baru. He's a bit 50-50 Baru. Sometimes he's fantastic at this behaviour, and other times we actually hand it over to his brother Ravi, but looking pretty motivated. Let's see how Baru goes. Now, he does this fairly easily, Baru. It's only about 4 or 5 strides up the tree. 4 strides.
Que foda.
And we take it right up the back. Now, you can see there with Baru, he's up the top. Now, he's pretty good at climbing back down, Baru. Now, the problem with some of our other cats is they just jump off. So, Baru here doing a fantastic job, lowering down to a nice safe height, and then letting go. Let's give Baru a big round of applause. A fantastic tree climb there from Baru. And always remind us, if we ever get chased by a tiger, don't climb a tree. Now guys, we've been a fantastic crowd this afternoon, and we have one more behaviour for you before you leave. Now earlier, saw some pretty good jumping from Ravi across our platforms. What we're going to do, set things up, and we're going to try to launch all 3 of our tigers from the log here at the back. Now for this to be a success, we require your participation one last time to coordinate the jump. Now I'm going to count to 3. When I count to 3, I want everyone out there to yell the word jump as loud as you possibly can. We are going to have rehearsal. Voices ready. 1, 2, 3. Jump! Good crowd. Should see a good jump with that amount of noise. Now fine, he's the one to watch. Very, very experienced at this behaviour, and we can manage his criteria a little bit using the polls. So the cubs, they jump to their favourite toy, a big cardboard box. Now just waiting for the cats to finish off those last treats. Ravi looks ready. Voices ready, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Jump!
Guys, let's give them a big round of applause. Fantastic finish to the presentation. And you'll also notice with our younger tigers a little bit of a trade going on. Now the box is their favourite toy, so we swap it out for a piece of chicken and then you remove the box without too many problems.
Eu não tirei foto, tá filmando, mas eu tiro foto às vezes.
We hope you've enjoyed our presentation and learned a little bit about tigers. Please, when you go, don't forget about our donation box, but ensure you have a great day here at Dreamworld, and bye for now.
Bye bye.